let's talk about vaccine distribution for COVID-19. How and when are people going to get a vaccine? It's helpful to think of two timelines, an initial rollout for 2020 and then a more widespread rollout for 2021. For 2020, there's only a month left. During this time, Pfizer believes it can produce 50 million doses, and Moderna 20 million doses. Since both vaccines require 2 doses, in total they can be given out to about 35 million people. Compare that with AstraZeneca, who believes they'll have at least 200 million doses by the end of this year. Like Pfizer and Moderna, AstraZeneca also requires 2 doses. It is still unclear, but I think we can expect Pfizer's and Moderna's initial distribution to be mostly allocated to the US, whereas AstraZeneca doses will likely be more globally distributed. The governments of different countries have done deals with the different vaccine companies to secure distribution, typically for their own citizens, sometimes pre-ordering doses and funding the development of the vaccines. This means widespread vaccination could take years. For perspective, the world's population is around 7.8 billion. The US has over 330 million people, and the EU 450 million people. The countries with the most cases include India with nearly 1.4 billion people and Brazil with 210 million. I haven't really heard anyone talk about this, but for global travel to really thrive, I believe we need to vaccinate globally, and that means reaching many marginalized communities and poorer countries. Now, who will be the first to get vaccinations? I haven't seen anything official yet, but it's likely that the first groups to be primarily frontline healthcare workers, those with underlying conditions that put them at significantly high risk, and critical workers in high-risk situations. This can include elderly and workers in nursing homes, essential workers like first responders, and prison populations and their staff. It likely won't be until March, April, May at the earliest before the regular US population starts receiving vaccines. Look out for another video on more details of vaccine distribution.